Now, more from Utopia.
This is what it's going to look like when we tag the butterfly, if we can catch any. So it's just a little sticker that we stick on their hind wing, so the bottom wing. And it stays, yeah, just sticks to it. It doesn't hurt them. It doesn't cause any weight gain. So it's just a number like a social security number for a person, but it's a social security number for a butterfly.
We also look at wing condition, so whether it's in excellent condition or just freshly closed from the chrysalis, or if it's in poor condition where it has a lot of tattering and scratches on it.
Natasha and Tanya also test the butterflies for parasites found on their underside, which can be dangerously spread from flower to flower, from butterfly to butterfly.
I wouldn't say that they're freaked out when you hold them. They usually just lay there and you just hold them really gently. They do have scales on their wings that you can rub off, but if you're gentle with them, it doesn't hurt them at all.
The tracking of the tagged butterflies can reveal many important facts that can aid in the management of the species. What habitat the butterflies prefer, how far they are traveling, what is the pathway they are using for migration. With this knowledge, resource managers can improve the abundance of nectaring plants and target specific areas for ecosystem restoration. In 2020, the Bureau of Land Management, along with Pheasants Forever and the Utah Division of Wildlife Resources, secured funding for ecosystem restoration at 3 different sites in the Uinta Basin to increase the amount of pollinator plants and remove invasive species from the landscape.
Out here at Stewart Lake Wildlife Management Area, we are trying to knock back the invasive weed presence and establish a more diverse and native ecosystem that will promote pollinator species throughout this region. As the butterfly comes through this area and the area is degraded with invasive species that are choking out the native milkweeds and other pollinator plants, there's nowhere for them to go and nowhere for them to lay their eggs and continue their life cycle. So what we're trying to do is reduce that competition and invite the native ecosystem to persist, continue, and grow, which will invite more opportunities for native butterflies.
This field work includes also taking note of any monarch larvae that is found. Adult monarchs can lay up to 500 eggs, but prefer to lay only 1 egg per plant. The eggs can hatch in as little as 3 days and start feeding on milkweed. And, as young biologist and team member Louise Falcon pointed out in the field, sometimes it's easier to find monarch larvae by looking for the holes left by the feeding larvae rather than the larvae themselves.
There are subtle signs that there are things in the environment that are not healthy. Well, this is one of them. Whether that is pesticide use, insecticide use, whether that is habitat loss. Everybody sprays for bugs in their yard. Well, lo and behold, when you spray a flower, that flower is probably being pollinated by a bee that's going to take it back to its nest or its colony. Same thing with butterflies. If it goes on a flower to eat for the day and it has a pesticide, insecticide, herbicide on it, well, peace out, butterfly.
More research is needed, but there are multiple factors contributing to monarchs' decimation. The widespread use of pesticides and herbicides are considered to be some of the current leading culprits.
And we're hoping that educating the public can maybe keep you from spraying your flowers. They may not be prize-winning begonias, but if you stop yourself from spraying them, you're probably saving not just your monarch butterflies. When you spray something, even though on the label it may say, you know, it's specific to ants and wasps, it probably isn't.
Upon hatching, monarch larvae will eat the shell out of which they hatched. They then turn to the milkweed and begin to store glycosides. It's these toxins in the milkweed that the monarch larvae feed upon that make them poisonous, or at least unpalatable to birds and other predators. Without milkweed, monarchs would be unable to complete their life cycle. Unfortunately, milkweed abundance has also been rapidly declining over the past few decades. In the West, it's been considered a noxious weed for many years because of its toxic effect on livestock. Public land managers are working toward new management strategies where livestock and milkweed can coexist, especially where grazing rights are sold.
But a monarch can't just live on milkweed alone, because they will flower in the springtime, and then after that the flowers senesce and go away, and then they need something to eat. The adults need something to eat, and so they'll need other types of flowers and plants to survive. And so my suggestion to people to what to plant would be a great diversity of plant species. Plants that would flower in the springtime, in the summertime, and in the fall especially.
Stay tuned for more Utopia after this.